Hey y'all, welcome to Inspirational Connection TV, where we connect, share, and talk about all the things that inspires, motivate, encourage, and builds confidence. Do you want to change your life for the better? Stay tuned, and I will give you my top 7 best tips to include in your daily routine that will help you change your life. Thanks for watching ICTV. If you don't know who I am and we have never ever met before and this is your first time here, I am Samantha of Inspired by Samantha Matthews brand, and it is a lifestyle brand that promotes inspiration, motivation, encouragement, confidence, and love. So please drop a comment, like, and share this video. And if you would like to get more inspirational video, please don't forget to turn that notification bell and subscribe to the channel so you will not miss an upload or a live stream. So let's get straight into the content. Who would not want to change their life for the better? Not me. I'm about to tell you my top 7 tips, okay? So let's get into it. All right, so the first one, tip number 1, is you want to know who you are. You want to know who you are, and you want to know whose you are. The only person who is going to change your life is you. You have to know that. You are the only one that has the ability to change your life. Okay, and to create that change, you have to first know yourself, right? And most importantly, like yourself. If you don't like yourself, if you don't know who you are, there's nowhere that you're going to know if you need to make the necessary changes that is needed to live a better life. Okay, there are times in your life when you will feel rejected, and there will be people that will not like you or the choices that you choose. But once you accept who you are and you love yourself despite what anybody else says, it'll help you move forward in your life. You also want to know whose you are, okay? And the scripture reminds me, Psalms 139 verse 14 says, I will praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are thy works, and that my soul knoweth them very well. Right? So you want to know who you are, you want to know whose you are. You got to understand that you are not your own as well. You belong to someone that is powerful, that is able to help you, right, to live a better life if you follow his rules and follow the things that he tells you. Hey, this is what you need to do, and you will live a better life, right? So you want to find your courage. You want to love yourself, know who you are, love yourself, get to know the good sides and the bad sides, and step out and do something bold and exciting. Don't worry about what anyone thinks or whether it's the right thing to do. If it feels right to do, act on it and go create the life that you love. So tip number 1 is to know who you are and know whose you are. Okay, now right on to tip number 2. Tip number 2 is change your mindset. How many times we want to change our life, but we think the same? That is not possible. You cannot want to change your life and think the same way that is causing your life to not be at the level that you want it to be. We have to remember that our minds are powerful and our thoughts shape who we are and will become. What you think is what you're going to say, is what you're going to do, how you're going to be. We have to know that, right? So we have to learn to develop positive thinking and patience. Learn to develop positive thinking and patience, because we know that happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. So think positive. Use words of affirmation. I talk about that in my streams all the time. You want to use words of affirmation, and these words will allow you to think positively. And then you want to cut out the negative chatter. cut out all the negative chatter, cut out things, negative people that surround you well, so you will not have that negative mindset because you're now thinking positive. So if you're around a lot of people that's talking negative things, then you're going to still think that way. The scripture says in Psalms 23 verse 7, as someone thinks within himself, so is he. So if you think that you're no good, if you think that you're not going to amount to anything, if you think that you can't make these changes in your life, if you think that way, that is, chances are that is what's going to happen. You're not going to make any changes because you're thinking that you're not. So if you think positively, say, I am determined, I am well able, I am able to do so many things that you know that you can do, then the chances are you're going to be able to make these changes. Okay? And you got to understand that what you choose to see determines your reality. So if you choose to see positive things, if you choose to see that things are going to work out for you, then that is what's going to happen in your reality. Okay, you have the power to change your reality by shifting your focus. So you want to shift it and think on positive things. If negative things is always what you're thinking about, oh, I'm not going to get that job, or I'm not going to be able to buy that house, or I'm not going to be able to get out of debt. If you think those ways, that is what's going to happen. So you have to say, I am going to be debt free by the end of 2021, right? I'm going to buy that house by the end of 2022. I am going to have that new job. Think of those things, and then you will be able to, step number 2, change your mindset. Once you start thinking positively, you'll be able to make better changes in your life. Okay. Now, step number 3 is a big one. And this is something that we sometimes do not try to do hard enough. Okay. You want to forgive and let go. You want to forgive and let it go. Whatever it is that caused you hurt, caused you pain, whatever it is, you want to forgive and let it go. You want to forgive someone, man. When you forgive someone, you know that it is less about them and more about you. When you hold on to hurt, when you hold on to someone that hurt you, it's doing you more damage than it's doing to them. So you have to learn to let things go. You want your life to change, let it go. Ask God to forgive them, forgive you, forgive them and let it go. No matter what it is, how hard it is, God is able to give you that peace when you forgive them. It's going to do you more good than it is than you if you would hold on to, you know, them, what they did to you. Okay, because forgiving is not for the other person, right? It's not for the other person, it is for you. Because when you forgive, then you would release that good energy, that good vibe that God is going to be able to bless you and to open up doors for you. Because he told us in the words that we're supposed to forgive 70 times 7. 70 times 7, that's a lot of forgiveness, right? That's what he tells us that we're supposed to do. So you want to do that so that he can bless you, because he said if we don't forgive, he's not going to forgive us. And a lot of times we want God to forgive us for the sins we do over and over and over and over and over again, and yet someone did one thing to us one time and we want to hold on to it for 10 years and 20 years and be upset about it. And you know what I'm saying? And God is saying, hey, I forgave you for something that you've done 1,000,000 times, and you're still holding up this. So you want to do that because it's not for your life's sake, it's for the other person as well. So you want to make sure that you are forgiven, okay? And forgiveness can reap several rewards, right? You know what? Ulcers are bad, right? Cancer is bad. Stress is very bad, right? And if you hold on to a lot of this stuff, it'll affect your health. It will affect your health. So if you are able to release those things, then you will have reduced stress level, reduced depression. You will not have a lot of pain and high blood pressure because you're always talking about this person did this to me. And every time you talk about it, every time you see the person, you get upset again and you get irritated and your blood pressure go up. Not me. So you want to make sure that you, right, you forgive and you let go. Okay, forgive and let go, right? And let's face it, right? The past cannot be changed. So if someone did something to you 20 years ago or 30 years ago, whatever, it's 5 years ago, a day ago, right? You cannot go back and change that. It happened already, and what's happened cannot be undone. So the time you're there making excuses and said, oh, it hurt me so much, or it was so bad, you shouldn't have done that, you know, that's not going to help you. It's not going to help you to make your life better, because now you're going to be stressed out. So that job that you should have been focused on, or that debt you're working on taking care of that debt, you're now stressed out. You're eating a lot, so you're going out a lot, you're eating, you're buying stuff, so because you keep worrying about it, you're complaining about it, you're talking about it, then you're not going to be able to save that money that you could have saved to get that home, right? Matthew 6:14-15 says, for if we forgive men their trespasses, right, if we forgive the ones that have hurt us, right, then our heavenly Father will also forgive us. Then he will forgive us as well. But if we do not forgive them, the other part of it, right, then he will not forgive us. And the word said that. I didn't make that up. I didn't write that at all. I found it in the Bible. So you have to learn to forgive and let go. Okay? Proverbs 17 verse 9 says, he who covers a transgression seeks love, right? But he who repeats a matter separates friends. And I'm gonna talk about that just 2 seconds. Listen, if you know someone hurt you and you're able to not shine light on it, not to make it go public, not to talk about it, you know that you show love to that person. You show love. You show that you are humble, that you are caring, that you are genuine, that you have all these good qualities, right? But if you keep talking about it, if you keep telling it to everybody that walks up, or everybody that comes in, everybody that says, oh yeah, do you know John over there? Oh yeah, John did this to me. Then that person that you're talking to is not going to like John. They're going to not want to talk to John anymore, because, you know, you're going to tell them something bad that John did 10 years ago, that John had asked for forgiveness of that, and then you are bringing it up again. Then you're separating. That person could be potential good friend to John, but because of the hurt that John caused you 10 years ago, you're bringing it up. So you want to meditate on that scripture. That's a big one, right? And then if we're able to do those things, we're able to forgive, and let things go. Then we're able to live a better life. Okay, tip number 4 is face your fears. Okay, face your fears. A lot of people don't like to climb heights and you know, bungee jumping or rock climbing and things like that. Some people don't even like to go on the sea, like in the middle of the ocean, right? So you want to face your fears, right? It's easy to ignore our fears and hope that they will just eventually just go away, but it doesn't work like that. So if you're afraid of going on a cruise all the way over, you know, in the middle of the ocean, try it. Try a 1 day, try a 2 day or something like that. Go and be out there for like, you know, a day or so, maybe two nights, and, you know, and see if it's something that maybe because you just haven't done it, why you're afraid of it, right? And if you want to change your life, learn to master your fears so they can't control you any longer. And that is big. You have to try to master it. If you know you don't like climbing rocks, or going outside and going hiking, do it 1 day and then you will get over it. You don't like high buildings, you know, just go into the highest building that's in your area and see if, you know, when you go up there, is your knees gonna lock. I know, I don't think I have, I mean, maybe there is some things, but not many. But do something. I don't have many things that I would say I would never do. But try, go do rock climbing, bungee jumping. I would never jump out of a plane though. But I'll probably jump off of something, but not out of a plane. Like, you know, there's certain things, but you can go and you can try, but you have to learn how to master it. So if you know you can't jump out of a plane, Samantha, then you would say, okay, well, that may be too much for me. Let me try something else. Let me just do like go on an excursion or something and do something that's similar to that, to see if maybe, okay, this is not that bad, right? And then you will be able to see if you can master that fear. So whether it's a fear of failure, because that's possible, right? You're afraid of failing at a task, failing at a degree, failing at something. You're afraid of that. It could be loneliness. You don't want to be alone, right? Or something that you don't know. Sometimes people are afraid of, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So today they're like terrified, like, oh my gosh, right? So you may be afraid of what's going to happen tomorrow. It can stop you from living your life to the fullest. I'm telling you, do not worry about tomorrow. The scripture tells you, don't worry about tomorrow. He has it all planned out for you, right? He will provide for tomorrow. Do not worry about today and today alone, not even the next minute, right? So don't worry about anything. So you may not know what tomorrow is going to be, right? But if you give that to God and tell him that, he will be able to guide you, right? When you feel discontent and unfulfilled, right? It's oftentimes it's our fears that is controlling our lives. When we're discontented, when we're unfulfilled, we feel like, okay, there's something that I wanted to do, right? Making a life change, right? And you're not able to do it because you are busy worrying about what you're afraid of, right? 2 Timothy 1 verse 7 says, for God hath not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind. And what have we talked about so far, right? Forgiving, that's love, right? Changing your mindset, you're taking back the power, right? Right, and you're having that sound mind, meaning you think positively, right? And once you face your fears and we take back our power to choose how we want to live our lives, and when we do this, we change our lives forever. Okay, and that's tip number 4. You want to face your fears. Now moving on to tip number 5, and that's setting realistic goals. You want to set goals that are not just goals, but the ones that are realistic, the ones that you can obtain. Okay, you want to set that. And once you know what is important in your life and what your dream life looks like, right? Then I'm on tip number 5, right? Then you are able to you need to take the action to set long-term goal and short-term goals as well. So when you know what your dream look like, then you can say short-term goals. Is it a short-term? Is it a long-term goal? And then you act on those things, right? Because when you act on these goals, then you will enable you to achieve your dreams and change your life in that time frame, right? So you want to do it realistically. Short-term goals, long-term goals. There's some middle time term goals too. You're able to then change your life in that specific time frame. Okay, and you need to have goals in order to know if you're on the right track. If you're just getting up and say, I'm gonna be a successful YouTuber, and you don't put any work in, then that's not gonna happen, right? Samantha, you gotta put the work in. You gotta come on. You gotta make sure that you learn what you need to learn. You do research, and you talk to people, and you share, and you do everything that you need to do so that you're able to know that you're on the right track, right? So you need to make sure your goals are in order to be able to meet them at the time frame that you have, right? And they should be relevant. That's why it's realistic goals. They need to be relevant to whatever it is that you're doing, measurable as well, because that's something that you can do. Specific, so you know exactly what you want to get, that big house around the corner, or you want to go to a trip in Paris, or whatever it is. You want to make sure that you have them a specific goal. You don't say, oh, well, I want to buy a house. Well, do you know what type of house? Make it specific and also attainable. You don't want to get a $500,000 house if you know that you can't afford that, or that's what you can afford. Then you set it to be a $500,000 house, right? And also make sure there's time frame on there, within a year, within 2 years, and then you'll be able to make good life, change your life for the better. Okay, you also want to have well-defined goals so that you can stay accountable with them in order to stay focused and committed. So make sure that they're defined, you understand what you're doing, you know what goals you're setting, and they're measurable, they're attainable, and then you'll be able to be accountable. So if you miss a deadline, then you know what you need to do to make that up, right? Now, we know the Bible talks about goal setting, right? It's wise, right? And goals often require hard work. So you need to have a lot of diligence when you're making goals, when you're setting goals, right? Be diligent in your efforts, and you also want to persevere. You want to have so much perseverance, right? Because we always face setbacks and disappointments. But if we only just persevere through the hard times, through the rough times, and don't give up, we will definitely be able to attain all these goals. And one key point in setting realistic goals is to make sure that they are in alignment with God's will. Okay, that should have been the first tip. They are in alignment. You want to make sure that your goals are in alignment with His will, and that the goals that you set, you have spoken to Him, and He said, yeah, "This is what I got you on that." So you want to make sure they're in alignment with His will, and then you apply scriptures as well. You apply scriptures to what it is that you're doing. You always want to make sure that we first align it with God's will for us, because we may want to do something. We may want to do something that God is saying that's not for you. Like I didn't have that under your I didn't have that set out for you. That was not in my vision for you. I didn't have you to do that. So you're setting a goal for something that you're not going to get, because, and then you're going to say, well, you're going to give up. No, that wasn't something that He wanted for you. Okay. And you should make sure that whatever goals you set does not contradict the word of God, right? Or the word and character of God. Proverbs 6:13 says, commit your works to the Lord, and your thoughts will be established. So if you commit what you want to do, then He will teach you. He will give you the thoughts to be able to do that. And 2 Chronicles 15:7 says, be strong and be ye strong therefore, and let not your hands be weak, for your work shall be rewarded. So when you do follow these the goals that you have set for yourself, and you follow the steps that you need to follow, then all those things will be rewarded. So you have the time frame on them. They're attainable, they're measurable, they're the will of God for your life. And when you do that, then your work, whatever it is that you're doing, whatever goal you're setting, you will be able to reap that reward at the end. Okay, now we're going to move on to tip number 6, sorry. And tip number 6 is develop a healthy lifestyle, right? And we all know that as we think, talked about that earlier, the thing that we think about, the way we think, is what our brain, nature of our brain, right? The nature of our brain is what we think is what's going to come out, right? So we should consciously direct our thinking, right? And we can also, not only our thinking, but we can also wire out our toxic patterns of thinking and replace them with healthy thoughts as well. Okay, so also you want to think about foods as well. So not just words and things like that. You want to think about the type of food that you eat, because you're trying to live healthy life, and your brain needs that healthy minerals and things like that in your diet, so that you're able to think on these good thoughts. Okay, so I'm going to give you a few things that you can do to live a healthier life, so that you can in turn be able to have your brain get the right nutrients that it needs to be able to change your life for the better. So you want to base your diet on plenty of foods rich in carbohydrates, right? You want to replace saturated fats with unsaturated fats, and you want to cut down on processed food. No more McDonald's, Burger King, KFC. Cut down on some of those foods, right? And enjoy plenty of fruits and vegetables. I'm a grapes girl, banana girl, orange girl. I love fruits. Watermelon. Eat a lot of fruit. Watermelon is very good. It's a lot of water, so it does a lot of filter. If you don't like to eat a lot of sweet fruits, watermelon is very good. I love grapes, watermelon, and banana. So try eating a lot of fruits. There's a lot more out there. Those are just my favorite. A lot of good fruits out there that you can eat as well, that will give you the right nutrients that you need as well. You want to reduce your salt and sugar intake, Samantha. You want to reduce your salt and sugar intake, okay? Salt will give you high blood pressure, honey, and sugar, of course, the white sugar though, not the brown sugar, give you some type of problems. So you want to make sure that you reduce your salt and your sugar intake. Don't put a lot. Make sure it's in moderation. Do whatever you're doing, do it in moderation. Okay. And then you want to eat breakfast regularly. So you want to eat regularly, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then you want to have small snack in between. And I need to talk to myself about this because Lord knows sometimes I'm so busy. But this is the best way to live that healthy lifestyle. You have to eat your breakfast, eat your lunch, eat your dinner, and then in between that, have a small snack. And make sure that your breakfast, lunch, and dinner are in good controlled portion sizes, right? So that you're not overeating at breakfast, overeating at lunchtime, or overeating at dinner. You've had short portions throughout the day so that you just eat, you're able to have your body digest these foods quickly and at the right time that it's supposed to. Okay, and the biggest one is drinking plenty of fluids, not only fluids, but water. Drinking plenty of water. You want to have a lot of water. Your body is like 90 something percent water. So you want to make sure that you put water in your body. Your body needs water. You don't want to be dehydrated. You want to make sure that you have enough water so everything in your body will flow, because there's something in there to make everything move and go where it's supposed to go. Okay. And then you want to, of course, maintain a healthy body weight. And that's making sure that you get enough sleep and make sure that you exercise. Walking, if you cannot go to the gym with COVID, if you can't go around, move around, walk, exercise, get out, move around, do something to keep your body moving. Okay. And I know we talked a little bit about this earlier, but this is one tip that I added to healthy lifestyle, and that's avoiding negative people that's in your life and negativity within yourself. That is something that you want to make sure as well. You avoid those things. Romans 12 verse 1 through 2 says, I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what that is good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Okay, you want to make sure that you are doing those things so that you will get that, you will do that acceptable will of God. And we're not going to do that. We're not going to get there if we put any kind of junk in our body, if we don't drink water, if we don't think positively, if we don't, forgive others. We're not going to be able to be transformed. We're not going to be able to do that because we're having all these negative things that is invading this body that he says is mine, right? We're not going to be able to do that. And one thing that I need to say is that we want to make sure that whatever it is that we're doing, there's pleasure in it as well. Because if we want to make change in our lives and we know that we don't like to go to the gym, right? So you hate going to the gym. So don't commit to going to the gym because you're not going to go. Commit to walking around, your neighborhood every day or something like that. Do things that you find pleasure in. You like bananas, bananas healthy. Eat bananas. You may not like watermelon. Eat a lot of banana. Or, do things that kale, and there's kale, there's so much other green. A lot of people like to do green juice. You may not like green juice. I don't like. You may not like green juice. So do something else that's healthy. I like broccolis. I like string beans. Just eat it just like that. You don't have to drink green juice, because if you don't like it, if you don't find pleasure in drinking it, you're not going to do it. Okay, so you want to make sure that you do things that that you are going to like doing. You're going to find pleasure in doing it. And tip number 7, the last one, of course, if you want to change your life for the better, you have to create multiple streams of income. You got to figure it out. You got to do things that'll allow you to have income, because if you don't have enough income, then you may not be able to afford to have so much go outside to exercise, go to the gym, or you got to pay gym fee. You won't be able to eat that healthy food that you need to eat, because you can only afford certain things. So if you have that multiple streams of income, then you'll be able to have enough funds to go and get exercise, go get your checkup, do everything you need to do in order to be able to have that good life, right? So there's a few ways that I did some research on. A few of them I have done, a few of them I have done, a few of them I am still doing, that is able to have monies coming from every different direction in order to be able to survive, right? That's number one. With COVID, everybody's looking for some way to survive. So we'll talk about a few of those right now. And let's see. Number one, you can start a blog. I know a lot of people that's doing a lot of blogs, and they are able to get paid by doing blogs. I see a lot of people that's doing that. They're able to get paid by doing their blogs. Okay. I also, as a matter of fact, today I got a text message from some number, right? A company, about paid surveys, about taking paid surveys. So that's number two. You can do that as well. You can do paid surveys. People are making money off of that as well. And it's not something that you have to like be at a certain, the first two, you don't have to be somewhere. You can do it right from your home. So that's another stream, right? And number three, you can invest in high dividend stocks. You can do stocks, right? A lot of people are doing crypto things. There's so much going on right now with investing. Everybody's investing in something, or Bitcoins. So you can think about things like that to bring in some income. You can sell products, right? You can sell or market your own made profits online and things like that. You can also do online skills. So say for instance that you can create a course, maybe create an online course. You probably do merchandise, you sell things. I have t-shirts that I do. There's so many different things that you can do to market your own products and stuff like that, and start a home-based business as well. Do something home-based. A lot of people are doing that now. That's another way to make some extra income and not kill your 9 to 5, because it's home-based. So you can do your 9 to 5 whatever time, and then you do a small home business at home. And then of course you can make YouTube videos, which is what I'm doing. Well, I'm doing a few of them before, but YouTube videos is my new thing now. And you can do YouTube videos, and that's like easy, right? It's easy, right? You can do YouTube videos, right? And when you do YouTube videos, you can have affiliate marketing, right? So you can get that with Amazon, right? And I know there's a lot more other ones out there. You can also do ads, run ads for them. So those are ways that you can make income. Like there's so many ways that we can do, I can talk about, and that will give you, allow you to live better and change your life. There is so much things going on right now in the world, and we can do so much things that nobody should be saying, you know, I can't do better, because I'm telling you, the word said it. He did not give us a spirit of fear, right? He gave us power, authority. We are able to speak to mountains and tell them to move out of our way. So don't worry or fear or be up, you know, complain or do anything like that, because God has given us so much that we can do. He's allowed us so much. So we have to just get up and say, okay, today is not today, it'll be tomorrow. You can write a book, an ebook, right? And that is tip number 7. And that is creating multiple streams of income, which definitely we need that in order to change our lives, okay? And we know that spiritual wealth comes from within, right? True spiritual wealth is something that you can control. And when you find a balance between spiritual wealth and material wealth, right? We're not just going to talk about the material things. We need to also make sure that our mind is in line with God's words as well. And when we have that spiritual wealth and the material wealth, then we'll know that's where the magic is. That's where the power is. That's where we are able to do so much when we have those two things together. Okay. Deuteronomy 8 verse 18 says, and you shall remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you power to get wealth. Okay, it's him. It's not because you went to school and got a 10 degrees, or your grandma left you money or anything like that. It's God that give us the power to get that wealth. It's God that give us that power, right? So if we know that and we continue to do his will and saying, God, direct me, what do you want me to do? I need to change my life. Something is not right. I need a shift. I need something. Go to him about that, and he will give you these steps. And these are just the 7 top ones that I believe that I wanted to talk about. I'm sure there's plenty more that you guys can do to make your life better. And these are my 7 tips. And I want to thank you all. Thank you so much for watching. And don't forget to leave an inspiration in the comment section below. Leave the comment section below. Also, please list of topics. Put some lists of topics as well that you would like for me to talk about. And if you found value in what I've said in my video tonight, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel to get more inspirational and motivational videos. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you won't miss an upload. And for more inspirational drips and videos, please check out the other videos on the screen, and see you in the next drip. And remember, if you can't do great things, do small things in a great way. And catch you in the next one. Bye.